by snow, which could affect large parts of the province from today well into the weekend. The latest level 6 warning issued by the South African Weather Service indicates that disruptive snow can be expected in areas in the Midlands of the province. The N3 toll concession also advised motorists ahead of the start of the school holidays to be extra vigilant on the road after several accidents were reported. The Department of Cooperative Governance has cautioned communities living in low-lying areas prone to flooding to exercise extreme caution when crossing bridges, as heavy rains and bitterly cold conditions are expected into the weekend. Heavy snowfall has also been reported at the Drakensberg Mountains along the Sunny Pass west of the province. Last night in Tongaat, heavy rainfall and gusting winds uprooted trees and damaged houses. Several accidents have also been reported on the N3 at Van Rynen's Pass. A truck overturned and caused a traffic backlog for several hours. In the Midlands, on the R617 at Mpopomeni, a taxi and a bakkie collided, resulting in the death of 2 people. And whilst in Durban on the M7, 7 people, including 2 children, were also injured after their vehicle lost control. The rainfall has also caused localized flooding in some parts of the city. Johannesburg Emergency Management Services has issued a safety alert due to the dropping temperatures. Gauteng can expect chilly to very cold daytime temperatures ranging from 8 to 12 degrees. And Johannesburg Emergency Services spokesperson Robert Mulaudzi joins us now with further information as well as caution. Robert, as always, great having you with us. So let's talk safety ahead of the long weekend. We're getting inclement cold weather warnings also here in Johannesburg. So what cautions should road users as well as households adhere to during this period?
Good afternoon, Alicia, and afternoon to the viewers. Yes, we have noted concern the warning from the South African Weather Service about the extremely cold, wet and windy weather conditions in most parts of the city of Johannesburg. I'm sure our viewers out there now who are mostly in and around Johannesburg, they can already feel and see the change in the weather patterns now. It's extremely cold now. So our residents will be tempted to use, heating devices to try and warm themselves. It might be braziers or paraffin stoves, heaters, candles. So our message to our residents that they need to make sure that they look after all these heating devices while in use. They don't have to leave them unattended, while in use, because we know that if these heating devices are left unattended, there's a huge risk of, devastating fire incidents, which might affect a lot of people, especially in our most vulnerable communities, our informal settlements, because you will know that because of the nature of how, the dwellings are built, they are closer to each other. So if one of the dwellings catches fire, then you are likely to have a number of, dwellings, being destroyed by that fire incident. So our message out there is to say, let's make sure that we look after all these heating devices. We are told also that there's about 80% of chance of us receiving some rainfalls over the weekend. So our plea to our motorists to extend the safe following distance and also try and avoid crossing roads or bridges which might be flooded.
Mm-hmm. And low temperatures forecast this weekend, Robert. Any concerns? Where are some of those concerns or focus areas?
Yes, our focus mainly will be our most vulnerable communities. It will be our informal settlements, because we know that most of those residents are the ones who are still using, I would call it traditional heating devices like paraffin stoves, candles, which if they are used unsafely, they might cause devastating fire incidents. So we're looking at all our informal settlements throughout the city of Johannesburg, and of course also our formal residential areas. Most of them, they're using heaters, big gas or electrical heaters. We say to them, they must make sure that those heaters are not left unattended, maybe in a room left unattended, because we might have fire incidents if those heating devices are left unattended. So we've got all our specialized units on high alerts, and also all our stations are fully operational. So we also have our disaster management monitoring teams in all 7 regions of the city. So we should be able to respond to all the emergencies which might occur throughout the weekend.
Mm-hmm. And a very quick one, Robert, you've also given out, I know you mentioned a little bit on it, you've given out a warning to gas dealers to also be extra cautious when refilling gas cylinders at this time. Tell us more about that warning.
Yes, we are concerned about this mushrooming of these gas dealers who are mostly not complying with our regulations. You will know that this morning we had an incident in one of our gas depot in Ekenhof where there was an explosion and one person was injured. So we find out that most of these kind of dealers they don't comply with our regulations. Of course, we do have measures in place or regulations in place which guides us to find those depot which are not complying with our regulations, and of course they might also face some criminal charges because of that contravention of those cities bylaws. So we are pleading with our residents out there to make sure that as and when they go out to refill these gas cylinders, they must go to reputable dealers, so that we can be able to avoid incidents like the one which we've witnessed earlier also this morning.
All right. And in closing, for those who find themselves caught in storms, how do they get hold of you, or communities who want to assist you with reports in areas not in your radar, Robert?
Yes, our service is a 24-hour service, 365 days a year. Our residents can be able to contact us any time of the day on this number 011-375-5911. I'll repeat the number 011-375-5911 for all life-threatening emergencies